welcome Eric Cedo, who's had a lot to do with this event. Eric's been very passionate about this event. Deserves every bit of a round of applause for all of his hard work.
Thank you very much. First off, let me say to everyone, just especially our expats, but everyone, just thank you so much for coming. And I know that sounds, almost trite to say thank you for coming, but the lengths that you went to, so many of you, to come and be a part of this, and especially the second year. The first year, when we were trying to get everyone to come, and I remember we were calling people and emailing and saying, we want you to come to this thing. And I said, well, what is it? I said, we don't know yet. Well, who's speaking? We don't know, We joked, Adam Finkel, where's Adam Finkel? Adam Finkel needs a big round of applause too. Adam, he's our homecoming king, Adam Finkel. We often said it's like selling cans of air. We don't know exactly what this is or what it's going to be, but you guys came, and you came because you believed in Detroit, and you're from Detroit, and the power of it. And this has been a phenomenal reunion. I was telling a lot of people, we've been talking about it, and he said the first year, homecoming sort of was the name of this event, right? It's a homecoming, that's the name of the event. This year, it really felt like a homecoming and a reunion. I was so excited to see all of you that came. By the way, how many came last year? How many alumni do we have? Excellent, very good. So just the excitement of seeing all of you, so many of the people that we've become so close. It's amazing. And then all the new people coming and to sort of join in this. And so it was such a great week. I was so excited. But it was a little bittersweet for a lot of us for one reason. And that is that one of the people very vital to this program, not just homecoming, but this idea of bringing expats back to Detroit. I say it was Detroit's biggest champion, could not be here, is not here for this. Because on May 12th of this year, Rachel Jacobs, was killed in the Amtrak crash in Philadelphia. Rachel Jacobs was co-founder of Detroit Nation. She was so active and so involved in what we're doing now. She and her husband Todd had been doing this for many, many years. And Perry and everyone else that's involved, this has been their heart and their passion for many years. Let's get expats back. Let's get them to contribute to Detroit. These are pictures of Todd and Rachel last year. And I remember the morning that I woke up on that May 12th, I got a text from Sarah Inline. And she said, did you hear what happened? Rachel's missing. They don't know where she's at. And it just sent shockwaves. And I remember thinking, it was a homecoming attendee, someone who met Rachel at homecoming last year and got connected, that was the first to text me. And I sent Julie Egan a message, and I said, did you know, and she said, let me see what I can do. Let me see everyone. We met at homecoming, and everyone coming together to say, let's find out, what can we do, how can we help? And then when we did learn the tragic news that indeed Rachel was in the crash and did not survive the crash, the immediate thought went to Todd and their son, Jacob. And my thought was, I can't imagine it. I can't imagine being able to go through that. And so we reached out to Todd, and I'm just so honored and privileged that Todd has not only been here and not only been involved from day one. I'm so honored to invite him to come out and just share a few words of tribute to his wife, his partner, not only in Detroit Nation, but I'm sure he'll tell you in a moment, his life partner, the love of his life. And so if we could all stand at this moment and just show great honor to Todd Waldman.
Thank you. When Rachel and I and a bunch of friends started Detroit Nation back in 2009, one of the very first things she did was she came back to Detroit. And she asked the question, if there was a lot of positive energy and resources, what should we do? As a Detroiter, she knew that this was not, as the media portrayed, it was not an empty wasteland full of hundreds of empty train stations. It was instead a city with a rich history, tons of robust institutions, and a crowd of entrepreneurial people doing wonderful, amazing things. I don't know if everyone knew this, but about a year and a half later, in 2011, Rachel did a grassroots version of this very event called Discover the D. If you Google Eventbrite, Discover the D, you'll see the agenda. Again, her focus was bringing people back to Detroit, connecting them to say, how can I help? How can I get involved? And I think the most tangible thing for me out of this last year's homecoming and this homecoming is that now you know. You have structured guidance, if you didn't before, about how you can, you've met people, you've met organizations, you've been involved, you have structured guidance as to how to get involved with Detroit. And if you want to order off the philanthropic menu, we have a lot of entrepreneurs in the audience, you have the social capital to reach out and say, I'm interested in doing this. Is it redundant? Is it necessary? How can I stay involved? When I first heard the news about Rachel, my immediate thoughts were a little dark. They were, I'm alone. This is not the trajectory I wanted for my life. It's going to be impossible to recover. And I drew a lot of parallels to Detroit's situation of 5 or 10 years ago. I'm sure a lot of people in the room thought, it's impossible, we're alone, we're never going to be able to recover. But in both situations, the best thing you can do, I've learned, is to lean on family and friends and community, and that's what's going to help you to recover. Rachel, I always thought of Rachel as being a visionary, someone who took risks, a doer. In fact, she was quoted last year in regards to the homecoming as saying, we don't need a blueprint. Detroit has a number of wonderful ideas. What we need are doers who have those ideas that come back and do. And that's why it's my humble privilege to be associated with Detroit Nation and be able to contribute to Sweet G's to enable someone with an idea to come back to Detroit and do. I just want to leave you with this thought, is that one of the hardest things I've had to do over the last couple months is answer when Jacob, our son, asks me, where's mommy? What's she doing? Is she still in Michigania? When is she gonna come home? And one of the most joyful things I get to do is to get down on my knees and look him in the eye and rustle his hair and say, Jacob, mommy's spirit is alive and well. She is home, and she's making a positive difference in our community. That's what you do when you're from Detroit.